Hey, what's up? This is Mike Locke with MLF Consulting, and thanks for checking out this video. Um, I'm going to walk you through how to take a website from, or how I take a site from mock-up to HTML to a working prototype, and I'm going to show you how I do that. I get asked that question a lot, and people are curious and just wanting to know how I go about doing things. I've been designing sites now for a little over 14 years, I believe, and we all have our different ways of doing it, and I think it's helpful to show people how I do it, and maybe it sparks some ideas and help you out with your own process. So what I normally do when I design a site, let's go back here. I'm in Fireworks right now, and that's my tool of choice. But I normally mock up a website in Fireworks, and what I would do all these parts are moving as you can see, and so I would spend days, weeks, however however long it takes to actually design the site to my liking or to my client's liking, going back and forth with mock-ups. Once the approved design is in place, then I start to piece this site together and put it in HTML. Now, most people, if you're working with Fireworks, um, you might think it's easy to use Dreamweaver or export your site to Dreamweaver and you're done. I don't do it that way because I want to have full control over my code and I don't want any unnecessary code in my HTML. Okay, so the only thing that I use Dreamweaver for is this thing here. So if you go to Dreamweaver and you open it up and you click on create a new HTML page, it actually has all this code done for you. I love that because I hate typing that in. So I normally grab that and I come over here to my tool of choice, my text editor called TextPad, and I would just paste that in to my site here. So I'll just paste it in there, and so then I would save the file as index.html. Now going back over to my mockup, I would start. Let's say if this is my final design, I'm going to start with the background because you see there is a background image, and what I would do, I need to piece all those things together. So I would I would sort of in Fireworks, I would lock that graphic down and hide all my other objects. I would just select all these, group them, and then hide it. And then what I would do is export. Let's just lower the percentage there. So this image here, I would export this image by itself. So I would just do File, Export, save it as BG underscore graphic right there. And so going back to my HTML code, what I would do is type in my style here. URL. Now, I always start off my coding by embedding my style sheet or my style, my CSS, and then later what I do is I go back in and then remove them and then put them into a CSS file and give them all class names and things of that such, if that makes any sense. So right here, what you see is I put in the background image in my body style, save HTML. Let's preview it. And you see there's a background there with the little word testing that I just did. Okay, now the next thing I would do is start building out. Let's go back to my mockup. The next thing that I would do is start building out my. Let's move that. I would start building out this top portion, which is my navigation bar and my logo. So what I do is because this background, this logo needs to be transparent, I would then copy this file, create a new canvas. See, trim all the unnecessary space, and then I would save this file as a PNG. Now in Fireworks, you can do this easily by coming over here under Optimize. Right here, you can just choose PNG 32, File, export, and then I just save it as a logo. Save as a logo, and then I come over here to my HTML and I start building out my containers. And what I mean by that is this space here would be, well, each section I would call a container. So I would start building out my header container and start piecing the site together. So what I've done, so that you're not bored and watch me type, I've already done this. So um, as you can see here, I would then start building out my main container. You see a div here, 900 width. That's the width that I have going across. And I would center it. You can center it in many different ways. And then I would start piecing my logo together. Now I'm going to show you how that's done. So I would build out this code, this table here, according to, and I would position it how I wanted it. You see, it's just a simple table. I like using tables to, I think they're just a bit stronger and they're more compatible across browsers, and that's just my preference. But um, you see here the image / logo.png. You save it, go over here, and then my logo's in place now. The next thing I would do, looking at my site here, I would decide whether or not I want this text to be included with my image, or if I want this text to be an image or text on top of this background, this blue sky image. And it's all a design choice. It's basically what you prefer and how you want to develop your site. So what I would do is I would in Fireworks here, I would then just select this entire graphic, this slice, and then I would call it billboard. And then what I would do, come over to my HTML, and I would just build out a table. Just build out a table here with the background of this image. I would save it, and then, well, that's not good. Let's see. Did I save that correctly? Let's do File, Export, Billboard. Oh, wrong file name. Okay. Okay, so there's my billboard. Now, I'm not going to walk you through in the entire site, but as you can see, each process is very tedious. And what I would do, I would continue this process, building out this entire site here. And what I would be doing is piecing it together piece by piece. And I would end up with, a bunch of code. And at the end of the day, I would then go back and try to optimize the code. So I might remove this style here, and I would might remove it, give it a class name, billboard, something like that, and then include that CSS information in a separate CSS file. And so it's a slow, tedious process, but at the end of the day, I get a working HTML prototype website according to my liking, and I can then check them across different browsers and be done with it. But send me any feedback if this video was helpful, and look out for more videos to come, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and we'll be chatting soon. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.